right, so day 1,000 of the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp defamation case. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. This is our favorite subject to talk about on this YouTube channel. This is about the third week in a row. We will be talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. As you can tell, we love the views. But
I love the topic.
Today was interesting because we saw, or I believe America witnessed an issue that exists within the system. We had Dr. Hugh. What's her?
Hugh. Don't say Kirby, because if you confuse her with
Curry.
Dr. Mommy, you're gonna have a problem. Dr. Mommy is the internet's nickname for the girl that I showed yesterday.
Yeah.
That really beautiful blonde. They call her Dr. Mommy. Just
okay.
Smoking.
Like I was saying, Dr. Hugh was put on the stand, and it's clear. I firstly, let me say this: Johnny Depp's legal team and the way they strung along those line of questions for Dr. Hugh was beautiful. Right? Because it made the questions were directed in a way that, and it's one of the main rules when it comes to being a lawyer, I've heard, because I'm not a lawyer, is don't ask questions you don't know the answer to. Right. And they only ask questions they knew the answer to. And all the answers led them to a specific viewpoint. If you want to take this away, and if you got video clips or anything for us, so we can get like a quick sample of what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to find something for her ass.
I mean, I'll start right now. So I know that Johnny Depp's legal team, they started off, I think one of the first questions was something along the lines of, I'm not sure if it was, do you talk to Johnny Depp, or have you represented any male when you were giving testimony, right? And it just set it up so nice and beautiful, because there was no games. They got straight to the point immediately. Did you find anything you was looking for?
To the result of my evaluation, I frequently treat and assess male victims of childhood sexual abuse all the time.
I didn't ask you about treatment. I asked you about testing.
Damn it!
See, boom. Pause it right there. Don't change the screen. Don't change the screen. That's a great point. I love that he hounded her on that. I didn't ask you about treatment. I asked you about testimony, which is the point. He's keeping her on the track of the conversation, because a lot of people would hear that and like, oh no, so she does do this, but that's not the point. That's not the question he's asking. It's very different to say I help everybody, right? But he's not asking that. He said, do you help people in the courtroom? Do you help men in the courtroom when it matters? Because I mean, sure, outside of the courtroom it matters, but do you help men when they're about to lose everything because of an accusation? Do you help men that are getting abused, and in a court case? Like, why? Let him continue. I think he does more beautifully than I can ever verbalize correctly.
I testified recently in a deposition on behalf of a man who was traumatized because he was wrongly convicted.
At the time of your deposition 6 weeks ago, you couldn't remember a single time you testified on behalf of a man.
I testified in my deposition that I testified in the case of a man who was wrongly convicted about 20 years and suffered physical and sexual violence in prison, and I detailed the traumatic effects of it that happened on that gentleman.
Sure. You can't recall a single instance where you were hired by the attorney representing the male in an IPV matter, correct?
In an IPV matter, not in a trauma matter or a child sexual abuse matter.
Okay, so that's the
pause it. Pause it. That's an important distinction. Basically, for a guy, for anyone that's not savvy, basically what the lawyer or the attorney just asked her was, have you ever represented a male within a a domestic violence case, essentially, right? And she was like, and she specifically said, no, not within a domestic violence case. I've never represented a man, which is interesting. I'm not sure if we're going to see more of it on this clip. I'll help summarize whatever's going on, because there's more things going on. The lawyer then goes on to show what's called PowerPoints that she did in New York, the PowerPoint that she did in New York, where basically all she's saying is how women should be defended, how other lawyers or other defendants or what not what doesn't matter. I'm gonna get lost within terminology. So excuse me. How other law people or lawyers or whatnot, how they should approach the situations and how they should be, how they can practice being an expert witness and to give the testimonies correctly and whatnot, and how to maximize it. And then, so he shows about like 2 or 3 examples of that. He then goes on to ask her, "Are you an expert witness or something like that? You basically make all your money being an expert witness." She was like, "No, that's incorrect." He goes, "Well, you've made hundreds of thousands of dollars just being a witness." And she goes, "No, I made $100,000, forensics and psychology." And, she goes on and she spews a lot of words. And the point he's trying to make is a lot of your living, and I think this is very important, a lot of your living comes from the backs of making sure men lose everything.
She's a feminazi. She's for the cause. Because I don't know if it's an interesting fact. They asked her if she was reviewed by them, by Hurt's legal team. If they conducted an interview, she said no. There's no way that you will bring someone that you don't know where they're going to align.
Oh, no, she's worked with them before. She's hired directly through the legal team.
They didn't interview her.
They didn't need to interview her. She's worked with them before.
Because they know what she's about.
She stated no. She stated before that she's worked with that. She's worked for that legal team before. They worked with her before, like constantly. They've used her, and it seemed as if that legal team, I guess, specializes within domestic violence cases, and they use her to get the kind of witness testimony that they need to get these courts to get the juror or judge to sway one way or another.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I kind of want to mean. Like, they know what she's about. They know what she's going to sign.
Yeah.
They know that she's not going to sign with Johnny. They know. I mean, even in the whole interview that they were doing her with, they were interrogating her. She mentioned some stuff that really applies to Amber Heard. It doesn't really, if they apply, it could apply to Johnny, but the way I saw it was like you're basically describing Amber, but you're using him, she to sway the jury into believing it's all Johnny.
Yeah.
So there, even in some papers that she wrote, where they could have been more specific with the amount of abuse that Amber received, that apparently she was telling him, she didn't write anything there. She
didn't.
She didn't. Somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying. I love how the legal team came today, because they asked her questions about some S500, whatever name the test is, on how you can find out the person has PTSD or not. And within the test, there are certain boxes that aren't filled with answers, which is like, well, how can you have an accurate assessment of Amber if you don't even fill in all the boxes? And then her excuse is, well, all the answers are on my notes. All the answers should be on the test,
because everything else is exactly what it's supposed to be, except that part.
Yeah, everything and everything about Johnny, about anything about Johnny Depp's personality and whatnot, everything was filled out perfectly. Except Amber's. There's those gaps. I'll continue on for a little bit. This is what I mean. Like, there's an issue within the system, is because she is getting paid $500 an hour. $500 an hour to be there. That's bread. That's bread. Not only that, and okay, I'll let you go. I want to. I was
gonna say that she's basically being not just a witness for her; she's vouching for her. Because
essentially, yes,
that's exactly what she's doing. Because she's basically saying she's the victim, he's the abuser, and oh my God. I'm gonna wait for the accusations. I'm gonna let you finish, because some of the accusations that just came up. This is brand new accusations.
When they come up?
Today in the trial that she accused.
Yeah, everything's fresh.
Everything is fresh. This is not from the British trial, because apparently Heard was protected by some law, so she didn't do her trial it's like live to the public. It's like undercover. That's what I heard. So this is brand new accusations. So the reason that she can do that is because apparently anything that is said on the court now is fair game, from what I understood. I don't know the legal team. That's where we're messing up a little bit, because we don't know the proper legal terms. But whatever she's saying now is fair game. It's not defamatory. So she's making up some. Ooh, I'm gonna let you finish. I got clips for that.
I'll finish it off with this when we're talking about Dr. Hugh. Dr. Hugh ended off her witness testimony basically saying that Amber did commit verbal and physical abuse against Johnny Depp. So now that's on the line. That's it's in stone now. It's part of the is written testimony or not written testimony. It's like it's just it can't be unsaid, right? So now we can prove what I mean. There was really no shadow of doubt before, but now we can definitely prove through a doctor's testimony that is being paid by Amber's lawyers in the first place that in fact she did abuse Johnny Depp.
And not only that, the last part, and then I'm done completely from her. When she was being questioned, she brought up the fact that there was no previous assaults in any of her past relationships. That is false. Amber did abuse her ex that she was with before. Now, Johnny's side apparently cannot bring it up unless her side opens the door for it. So they cannot reference it.
And now they can.
Now they can, because she just opened the door wide open because she basically lied. Either she lied or she didn't know. And I don't know which one is worse. Because if she didn't know,
she's supposed to be prepared for that.
Because if she didn't know, you can call out a lot of lies from her side. That's just my take.
All right,
Anyways, completely biased.
I want to talk about Amber today, but I don't, because tomorrow's gonna be another day.
She's gonna I got assaulted tomorrow.
And all I say is this: Amber and her legal team, they did their work. I think her legal team came in better today. I think her legal team came in with a direction that they wanted to approach this conversation, because that's what's going on. This is no longer a legal battle. That I can see clearly. This is a story. This is a narrative that people are going to follow within their heads, in their brains, within their hearts. And now the thing is going to be is, what if this is true? That's gonna be the constant question that's in the jury's heads and the audience heads and the people at home watching. It's gonna be the public view.
Because remember, she fired her whole PR team,
Mm-hmm.
her whole PR team, because she didn't like where it was going.
Mm-hmm.
So she hired a new PR team, and she's trying to change the narrative. I'm gonna be checking out some of the news sources and any articles that come out. I've been refreshing the page, seeing what's coming up, because I want to see if people are being swayed by her or she's completely being buried. Because if you didn't believe her,
well, I think what's going on now is that a lot of media sites they're not taking sides, because this defamation lawsuit that Johnny is pursuing, if he is to win, then he can start suing everybody else that made these false accusations against him.
I just want to see what articles are going to be brought up, right? Like Johnny Depp, the abuse Amber Heard. You know how they can be tricky with the titles. I want to see the comment sections of some of the videos where people are like, "Oh, do I believe her now? Oh, I changed my mind." That's what I'm paying attention to.
I do think that whatever she says is going to be impactful. I've listened to it. I was going through it again today, right before we started recording it.
A single word. Those crocodile tears.
No. The crocodile tears. The crocodile tears.
Crocodile tears. She couldn't even.
It's not that. It's the scenarios. It's the scenarios. Because look, again, I don't want to talk about this. We'll talk about it when we're done recording. We'll talk about it when we're done recording, and then we'll see tomorrow, and then we'll have a full view. And we want to record tomorrow. We will record tomorrow. I think we will, because I think tomorrow is going to be a bombshell on whatever's going on with the court case. But guys, this has been Lidat. We're at 69 subs. We're almost at 70. Like, subscribe, share, comment on these videos. We need comments, likes, and comments, and sharing would really elevate this podcast to the next level. And we are the best podcast in the world. We just don't have the numbers yet. Get us those numbers. All right. Peace out, guys.